Reports have shown that Africa produces over 50% of the world's cashew. Nigeria ranks among the top 3 producers of the commodity on the continent and one of the top 10 raw cashew producing countries in the world. With over 400,000 hectares of land being used for cashew production across the country, Nigeria's annual output stands at 150,000 metric tons of raw cashew, a situation that the National Cashew Association of Nigeria believes can improve with appropriate enabling environment. What are the efforts of the government at ensuring increased production capacity and also making the product marketable and acceptable in the international market? You will get to find out in the course of this program. Welcome to Export Digest. I am Femi Boyede.
No nation depends on one source of revenue if it hopes to create a sustainable economic development and a future for its citizenry. Countries like Malaysia, India, Singapore and even Kenya have all grown and sustained their respective economies through non-oil exports. Our vision at the Nigerian Export Promotion Council is to promote non-oil export as the key driver of the Nigerian economy through strategic diversification of the economy from oil to non-oil. NEPC is strategically positioned to do more through our action plan on 13 national strategic export products, Zero Oil Plan, the One State, One Product Initiative, and the Nigeria Diaspora Export Program, which are needed pillars of success in our National Industrial Revolution Plan. Invest in non-oil export business and reap bountifully. Export business guarantees a prosperous future through inclusive wealth and job creation. Join hands to make Nigeria one of the top 20 largest economies in the world. Export business, tomorrow's business. For further inquiries, visit our website on www.nepc.gov.ng.
In line with its National Export Strategy Program, the Nigerian Export Promotion Council (NEPC) joined other countries of the world last year in Dubai for the World Cashew Convention. The agency also embarked on a cashew buyers and sellers mission to Vietnam to find ways of further strengthening the export trade relations between the two countries. The main objective, expectedly, was to further strengthen patronage from Vietnam of Nigeria's cashew export. On Export Digest this week, we bring to you an expert from that trip.
While in Vietnam, the delegation met with over 100 members of the Vietnam Cashew Association, VINACAS, in the city of Ho Chi Minh. Nigeria's ambassador to Vietnam, Ambassador Matthias Orji Okafor, the executive director and CEO of NEPC, Olusegun Awolowo, the president of NCAN, Tola Fasheru, among others, made up the Nigerian team. In his presentation, the president of VINACAS, Ngean Doksan, disclosed that with export capacity of 305 million metric tons in 2014, Vietnam is the world's largest processor and exporter of cashew. He said the country imported 106,734 metric tons of cashew from Nigeria, which accounted for 13.4% of total Vietnamese import of raw cashew in 2014. He appreciated the cooperation between Nigerian and Vietnamese cashew entrepreneurs, which has made it possible for his country to import directly from Nigeria without having to go through a third party. About 30% of Nigeria's raw cashew nuts were exported directly to Vietnam, while 70% was exported to India, Singapore, and United Arab Emirates through third parties. NEPC's executive director and the leader of the Nigerian delegation, in his presentation, appreciated the president and members of VINACAS for the warm reception extended to them, and also expressed the willingness of Nigerian exporters to collaborate with their Vietnamese counterparts to uphold the mutual trade relationship between both countries. Mr. Awolowo invited potential Vietnamese investors to come to Nigeria and invest in the processing of cashew, and enumerated the incentives available to investors.
Nigeria, you know, is one of the largest. We're number 3 in Africa, 6 in the world. Yeah, 3 in Africa, 7 in the world in cashew production. So we're here on a fact-finding mission facilitated by the USAID and USAID Next program, and Kristen is there. So we'll just let the cashew experts, talk on this, ask some questions. We are really the promoters for them, so we'll step back and let them say a few things.
The president of NCAN, Mr. Tolu Fasheru, in his presentation expressed the willingness of Nigerian exporters to meet orders from Vietnam. He assured that the quality of Nigerian cashew will be improved upon, as the NEPC is partnering with the association to ensure adequate training of farmers in that regard.
We believe very strongly that it's a win-win thing for us. We are looking at, as you are aware, we're looking at collaborating in sharing experiences on how to increase our production. That is production in Nigeria, of cashew in Nigeria. Increase from where we are to a higher level.
Nigeria's ambassador to Vietnam, Mr. Matthias Oji Okafor, used the opportunity to express his appreciation to Vinacas for their confidence in Nigerian exporters. He said the embassy will deepen its efforts towards strengthening the collaboration between Nigeria and Vietnam by removing trade barriers, and expressed his hope that the volume of trade between Nigeria and Vietnam will increase significantly. The delegation visited the famous Viet Cashew, a cashew processing plant in Ho Chi Minh City. The company started operation 10 years ago and processes cashew kernel, which is exported to over 60 countries in Europe, the United States, Asia, and the Middle East. The executive director of NEPC, Mr. Awolowo, used the opportunity to invite the company to come and invest in cashew processing in Nigeria. He said the advantages of processing in Nigeria are that Nigeria is geographically positioned to service Europe and America because of the shorter shipping time it takes to reach the two continents. He also assured that the raw materials are in abundance and the cost of labor in Nigeria is quite low. As part of efforts to ensure that Nigeria's raw cashew nut meets the quality specifications of Vietnamese importers, the delegation visited Vina Control Inspection Agency, a quality inspection and testing institution that carries out certification of various commodities. The director of the company implored the Nigerian delegation to work on the improvement of the quality of raw cashew nuts produced in Nigeria for exports to Vietnam, especially in areas such as proper drying, use of jute bags for storage, and sorting and grading of the nuts.
The oil from here is very important. The oil from here is so we make it. Yeah. The solvent go there, you make the water go there, and when here the cooling make all go there, and water is go there.
In the second phase of the trip, the Nigerian delegation met with a group of buyers from India at the World Cashew Conference, WCC, that held from 5th to 6th February 2015 in Dubai, United Arab Emirates. The meeting held at the Atlantis Hotel, The Palm, venue of the conference, and had in attendance over 50 buyers. In his presentation at the meeting, the Executive Director and CEO of NEPC, Olusegun Awolowo, thanked the Indian businessmen for the confidence they have in their partners in Nigeria. He extolled the excellent political and economic relationship that exists between the two countries, which he traced to the 60s. He invited the businessmen and encouraged them to come and explore the market potentials in the Nigerian cashew industry.
It's been a privilege that we are participating at the ever first cashew conference. Cashew is important to us in Nigeria. It's one of our strategic export products we want to use to replace oil in Nigeria. And we have come to this conference. Preceding this, we were in Vietnam. We had a buyer-sellers meeting with the Vietnamese Cashew Association. They are the largest importers of Nigerian cashew. It used to be India, but now it's Vietnam. But later on this afternoon, as a fallout from this convention, we're going to be holding a buyer-sellers meeting with the Indian Cashew Association. We've come in here with 12 exporters and processors from Nigeria who are trying to get into the market. So it's a very good convention for us. All yesterday the presentations were apt, focusing on how to get cashew to the next level. And I'm really pleased that we participated in this. We've learned a lot from all the speakers, and we've done a lot of networking, and we believe that will help us, because we are currently working with USAID Next on a 5-year strategic program for cashew. We want to scale up our production. At the same time, we want to attract processors to start processing cashew in Nigeria.
No nation depends on one source of revenue if it hopes to create a sustainable economic development and a future for its citizenry. Countries like Malaysia, India, Singapore, and even Kenya have all grown and sustained their respective economies through non-oil exports. Our vision at the Nigerian Export Promotion Council is to promote non-oil export as the key driver of the Nigerian economy through strategic diversification of the economy from oil to non-oil. NEPC is strategically positioned to do more through our action plan on 13 national strategic export products, Zero Oil Plan, the One State, One Product Initiative, and the Nigeria Diaspora Export Program, which are needed pillars of success in our National Industrial Revolution Plan. Investing non-oil export business and reap bountifully. Export business guarantees a prosperous future through inclusive wealth and job creation. Join hands to make Nigeria one of the top 20 largest economies in the world. Export business, tomorrow's business. For further inquiries, visit our website on www.nepc.gov.ng.
Cashew export is the third largest agricultural export foreign exchange earner for Nigeria, with exporters earning about $110 million in 2013. In the words of the NEPC boss Olusegun Awolowo, aside the ability to increase foreign exchange earnings, cashew, through value addition, creates jobs especially for women and youths. It also reduces rural poverty and creates inclusive socio-economic development among Nigerians. You are still watching Export Digest. Let's take some export tips now, and when we return, it will be time for Export Spotlight. Do stay tuned. Have you ever heard of the brand name SmartFit? Well, it is a shoemaking factory located in Kubwa, Abuja, Nigeria. This week, Export Digest spotlights this company to unveil the ingenuity and creativity of Nigerians.
We have to key in, just like you say, we are jumping the gun. Fortunately, we were part of the government committee on formulation of national industrial policy, and that gave us the inroad to the National Industrial Revolution Plan, the NRP. That's government initiative on industrialization. And having known that, and having known what it's all about, we found no other time to waste than to key in into the process. Surprise for one of our clients. The agreement we have is that we should be doing no fewer than between 3,000 to 5,000 pairs a day for them, and with that, you don't require anything less than 150 people to be at work, and that means 150 youth, female youth of this country will be at work. And foremost, infrastructural challenges, which borders more on energy. It may interest you to know that we are running on generator. As we talk now, we are running on generator. So our production is dependent on generator. So in that case, there are a lot of government could do to alleviate the sufferings here. If government could maybe say that, okay, since it's dependent on generator, you could have so and so access to BPMC to lift so and so thing direct, at least to reduce costs. We are not talking of subsidy this time. We are talking of getting direct access, at least ensuring that it's always there. want to prove that there are some of the things that are better produced in Nigeria here. Things like footwear. You can imagine the population we have, the commanding population we have in this country. We are talking about 170 to 200 million, and who knows what will be in the next 3, 4, 5 years. And you can imagine no single Nigerian goes barefooted this time. Even a beggar on the street. No matter how poor, jobless people that have no job, seeking for job, everybody needs one fine quality shoe or the other to wear. And we don't have it, we are being deprived of that. That is even what prompted the strategic partnership we had. And my partner promised that those things we had in the past will not be reversed. Government has been talking about employment generation, taking people off the streets, value addition, increasing our GDP. If we are encouraged by government in the way they're supposed to do, in most countries like South Africa, like my neighbor said, whatever was their output in a year, subsequent years, their government give them 40% of that as grants. But you won't believe that here, yes, to plug back into the business and continue to generate people. My partner has over 28,000 people working under him in 14 factories.
Well, my distinguished viewers, this looks like the right time to say a very big thank you for watching this wonderful episode of the program. Sure, it was worth your while. For further inquiries, specific questions and comments on the program, and especially sponsorship and advertisement, please send a mail to our email address currently scrolling on your TV screen. You can also watch previous editions you may have missed on our website, femiboyede.com/webtv. You may also contact us on our other social media platforms, as well as Export Digest on YouTube. Until I come your way again, I am Femi Boyede, encouraging you to always do export and watch Export Digest. See you next time.